Hello and welcome to the Automotive Flux channel. So today we're going to be doing this Land Rush Aspen. It's 4 races, 5 laps each. We're going to go ahead and pick off the trucks again because trucks are excellent. And we'll just get right into this. So today isn't about a particular game as a lot of my videos have been in the past. The one from last week was Skyrim / Fortnite. But this time I'm going to be talking about something else. Right, so that was a minor hiccup with my computer, but everything is okay now. If I remember to cut that out, then hopefully I remember to cut that out. I haven't been doing as much editing as I thought I would be. When I made those 2 videos, like it was a bit of a spur of the moment thing the other week. I think that was 2 weeks ago. They did really well, but I kind of haven't come up with any ideas since, so it's just these for now, so I'm sorry. But anyway, maybe I'll add something more to this video, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like adding extra effects, and sometimes I'm like, well, I'll just leave it alone. It depends on the day, depends on how I'm feeling. And yeah, I mean, if I was doing this for a job, then I would have to add extra effects and keep it consistent, but because I just do it for fun, I'm just really doing it for fun. But anyway, eventually I will actually make more of those edited videos, but as for now, we're just kind of here and waiting around for that to happen. Alright, so like I said, I'm not going to talk about any particular game, but I will talk about a few games. First things first though, tomorrow's video is probably going to be Smite Season 5, just because I have seen Season 5 come out. And I'm liking it. I'm liking the way that things are going. I like the skins that they put out. I like the Conquest map. I did 1 game on it so far. I'm not so sure with the items yet because I've only played a couple of games. I think I played 2 or 3 games, so haven't been able to play every class. Haven't been able to see what items are good and what aren't. So yeah, one thing that always sucks around this time is I don't have enough gems for the season ticket. So I'm just gonna have to wait like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, before I can get enough gems, because I'm down about 170 gems, so it's gonna be a while before I can get the season ticket, but if it's anything like last year, then I'll end up with like 40,000 FP when you only really need 30, and that'll give me enough to unlock everything, so yeah. Plus, I have a ridiculous amount of FP ×2 boosters. I'm talking like I have 50 of them, so hopefully I can just use those in every game once I get my season pass, and then boost a bunch of games and make them worth twice as much. So it'll save me a lot of time. But anyway, enough about that. So I wanted to talk today about bundles. Now, this is a bit of a surprise because I wasn't planning on talking about this today. I was actually going to talk about Skyrim again and give you an update on my progress of my character, but if we have time later I'll end up doing that. But for now, let's talk about the Humble Bundle specifically and how spoiled I have been by it. The Humble Bundle has gifted me many great games in the past, some games that I never thought I'd be interested in, such as Infinifactory. I wound up getting that from a bundle and I really like it a lot. Introduced me to Zachtronics, but yeah, we'll get into that another day. So many good games have been gotten on bundles. I have just today picked up all the Grand Theft Auto games except 1 and 2, and DLC plus Max Payne series and Manhunt and Bully for, it was $18.50, $19 actually, Canadian. That's with the transaction fees and everything, so for less than $20 I got all of those games on PC, on Steam, and also, yeah, I mentioned Max Payne, so Max Payne 1, The Fall of Max Payne, and Max Payne 3, plus DLC for that money. It's 15 American, for those who are wondering, but still an excellent deal for us here in Canada and around the world, I'm sure. Stuff like that is just insane. I couldn't go into the used game store and get all those games for $20. Like, that kind of deal is just unheard of anywhere in physical media, and I'm just so happy that the Humble Bundle is able to do stuff like that. I've been wishing to get Belief for a long time, but I just haven't. I wanted to get it on the PlayStation, but obviously I'm gonna have a hard time doing that. It's a very popular game, a bit of a classic, some would say, I would say, but now that I have it on PC, I'm totally gonna play it, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy myself because I've actually, in my anticipation for it, I ended up watching an entire playthrough of the game, which is something that you shouldn't do, but I'm still looking forward to playing it. That was a few years ago when I watched the playthrough, so I don't remember everything that happened. I'm really looking forward to being able to play some of these games, like Grand Theft Auto 4, for instance, is a game I completely missed. I've played 3, I've played Vice City, I played San Andreas, but I did not play Grand Theft Auto 4, so now to finally have it, I'm gonna give it a look, and we'll see what it's like. I know that a lot of people don't like Grand Theft Auto 4, but a lot of people also don't like Grand Theft Auto 5, and I really like Grand Theft Auto 5. Except for the microtransactions, like the shark cards, the online is okay, but the actual main game, like the story mode in Grand Theft Auto 5, is some of my favorite gaming ever. I actually, like most people, I bought the game twice to play it again in first person, the story mode. I like Grand Theft Auto 5 a little too much. So much so that I have to, during school time, I limit myself to not being able to play it most of the time, only on very... Whoa, that guy just did a roll there. Only on some very minor occasions will I allow myself to play it, because I just get addicted to it again, and I really, like, especially during school, I just can't have that, obviously. But, yeah, thank you, Humble Bundle. So, some of the other games that I've gotten in the past from them would include, let's see, actually, most of my library, I have 400 games on Steam. I'm going to say that probably 65 to 75% of my library is made up of Humble Bundle bundles and Humble monthly bundles as well, worth of games. Not many games do I just buy separately. Only a few games get to hold that title. The monthly bundle has given me games like Dirt Rally. It also gave me Mad Max, and a bunch of other stuff like Stellaris, for example, and just a ton of other games as well. And when you're getting a bunch of games like that a month, it's hard to keep track. I've gotten all of the Star Wars games from Humble Bundle, like all of them, and that was really cool. I finally got to play The Force Unleashed on something other than PSP, because that's the only system I have any other Force Unleashed game for. What else? My point is, like, and I've talked about this with my friends in the past, but the Humble Bundle has spoiled me to the point where I can't buy games normally anymore. It's so hard for me to drop $60. It's not $60 in Canada. It's 80 or 90, by the way. Thank you, exchange rate. But it's so hard for me to drop $80 on a game when I can get so many games that are just a couple years old on the Humble Bundles for pennies sometimes. It totally outmodes that way of doing things for me. I think that the Humble Bundle enables like a whole new area of the industry, and it allows games that sort of failed at launch to come back. Like they put themselves into a bundle, and then suddenly a ton of people get their hands on it. So you can imagine, like, they probably don't make a lot per copy, but in the long run, when you sell a couple 100,000 bundles, it can do decently well for developers. And I think I've heard a story somewhere, don't quote me on this, but a Humble Bundle actually saved a developer from like going under and allowed them to continue on in their next game because it sold so well. Like the bundle sold so well. Some other games I've got from Humble Bundle, the very first bundle I ever got had Gary's mod in it. It had Magica. It had Cities in Motion. It had the Sanctum games. It had Orcs Must Die. Do you remember this bundle? That was a while ago, but that was the very first Humble Bundle I got. Pretty soon after I built this PC that I'm playing on right now, my first like big gaming computer other than the laptop I used to have. And that brings back some fond memories because I never would have gotten so into Steam. I never would have gotten so into Steam games without having Gary's mod. Some of you will have fond memories of that game as well. It's obviously not done, so you can go back and play it more, but in the height of it, back when that bundle was out, I only had free games on Steam. Like, I only had Team Fortress and a bunch of stuff that they were giving away for free. But then I finally got some real games, and I played them endlessly, especially Orcs Must Die 2, and Sanctum. We played those a ton in my friend group. I actually kind of want to go back and play some more Sanctum 2, because I do really like that game. But Orcs Must Die as well. These games kind of introduced me to PC gaming as a whole, like when it comes to more advanced stuff. Because previously I had been playing on my laptop, which was limited in capabilities. I mean, I could play Skyrim, I could play the original Borderlands, I could play Left 4 Dead 1, but also Sleeping Dogs I had on there. But all those were legal copies. I never had the real version until I finally got Steam, and it kind of launched this big thing that I've now got 400 games on Steam, and the Humble Bundle really kickstarted that for me, showing me that I could get these games for super cheap, and just allowing me to continue on in the PC gaming world, I would say. Now, why I'm bringing this up and why I've mentioned it before, let's rewind that. That was a pretty crappy jump there. So, why I'm mentioning it now, as I actually have talked about this in one of my videos before. It's actually one of my more favorite topics, but new gaming systems, like the Switch for instance, I wouldn't mind getting a Switch. I think that $400 is a little expensive for one. That's what they cost here, but I think that eventually when the price goes down a bit I could justify getting one. The problem is, Switch games are ridiculously expensive. Like $80 games for games that are not worth $80. The only games I'd be interested in on the Switch are Nintendo games. Nothing else really appeals to me, mostly because of price point. Like, the problem that I have, like I said, is that I've been spoiled so much by the Humble Bundle. I get all these good games for cheap. I can't justify spending $80 on a single title just to kind of try it out. Even Nintendo games, ones that you know will be good, like the Super Mario Odyssey, or Mario Odyssey, I don't know if it's called Super or not, something maybe I should have looked up. But even games like that, I would have a hard time justifying spending $80 on. And I know that there's a crowd out there who spend a lot more than that on games, such like, that's how Call of Duty gets away with offering bundles of different, like, Call of Duty base game, Call of Duty Silver Edition, Call of Duty Gold Edition, Call of Duty Platinum Edition, and it's like $150, and it comes with a mini action figure, and it's totally useless and worthless, but people buy that stuff, so people are willing to pay more than $80 for games, but I'm just not. I'm just not one of those people, so maybe you don't have this issue, but it's something that I definitely do have. So when I consider in my endless cynicism and cheapness, which I'm working on, by the way, when I consider the cost of one game and a Switch, I just can't do it, because I think that one game and a Switch, $480, is probably more money than I have spent on my entire Steam library. Not kidding. Some of the deals that I've gotten on the Humble Bundle, like the free stuff that I've gotten, I don't think that I've spent $480 on my library, which is just over $1 per game. I think that I've spent less than $1 per game. And that to me is what I would say is good value. And then when it comes to one game and a Switch, it's bad value in my opinion. So yeah, that's really the bundles thing. I kind of wish it would make it so much easier if they had more bundles for PlayStation. For instance, I saw a bundle that was for PlayStation 4. I think it would have been last year, a couple months ago though. And I was like, oh my goodness, they're finally putting these bundles for consoles, and I haven't seen one since. So maybe I'm just not looking hard enough, or maybe maybe they just haven't been able to do it. But yeah, if they can start to do bundles for consoles, then maybe I'll become more interested in consoles. But for now, I'm pretty sold out to Humble Bundle and Steam. Also, I have a couple games on... I actually have quite a few games on Origin, just because of their free system. And I have a bunch of games on Ubisoft, because... or Uplay, because I was given those with my graphics card. And I have a bunch of games on GOG, because GOG keeps giving out free games as well. But yeah, it's just getting... like, this is a really good time to be interested in games. You can get games for so cheap. Like, pirating is something that I used to do because I had to. I had no money. I wasn't really allowed to just go and buy games like that. And so I had to pirate games because I couldn't do anything else. That was the only way I could get them. And nowadays I haven't even thought about it. Like, it's almost more effort for me to pirate a game than it is for me to just buy it with the money that I've got, that I've put effort into getting. When games are so cheap like this, like, pirating is just... whoa! That was a pretty good front flip there. When games are so cheap like this, and you're somebody like me who... I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but I have enough money to sustain myself, and a little bit extra just for some fun things, very once in a while. Like, I rarely buy games, and when I do, I usually buy games with bundles, so I might spend maybe $20 every 3 months on games. But when you're like me, it's really hard to justify pirating a game when I have so many games that I can buy for under $20. Like today, when I just bought the entire Grand Theft Auto series except for 1 and 2, the entire Max Payne series, Bully, Manhunt, and also LA Noire, but I already had LA Noire. So yeah, when I can buy those games for under $20, there's just no point in pirating. So if you have anything to add to my discussion here, just let me know in the comments. I do try to respond to intelligent comments. By intelligent, I don't necessarily mean ones that agree or disagree with me, because it's always good to have a discussion. What I'm saying is more like I've gotten some weird comments over the years, obviously. I mean, this channel's been going for, we're in year 3 right now, I think. So you get a lot of weird comments every once in a while, but by intelligent I mean ones that propose an argument and kind of add to a solution, not ones that are like, well, this game sucks, or, well, you're incorrect. Because then, like, what do you say to that? Okay. Alright. Anyway, I don't think you need policing on comments. Like, we've definitely got a good community here, even though nobody says anything. I'm quite surprised by some of the views that my videos have been getting. Looking back at my backlog, you can see sort of a pattern that I didn't notice before, like of videos, and it seems to be that videos that I like more get more views, and videos that I've kind of rushed just don't. So it's easy to see that people kind of I want to say reciprocate the quality, but I don't think that makes sense. But people appreciate the quality that I try to put into videos, and so when I put in more effort and the video is just better and the thumbnail is just better, then that kind of thing gets more appreciation. So I'm thankful for that. It definitely, spending some time on your channel, or my channel, but doing this as a YouTuber, I don't want to call myself that, but just doing this as somebody who makes videos, looking back and seeing sort of the trends on things and just seeing what has really piqued the interest of the people who watch you, that's really good, I would say. Something that you need to do decently often, just to look back and see what people are interested in. So it's been 22 minutes, and I think we finished the entirety of this. Yeah, we did, so hey, that's pretty good. We got first in the last one, and first in this one. All we have is this Jimhanka attack, and then I'm kind of hoping that this land rush thing will turn gold. So that'll be for next time. We'll see what happens. My goal at the end of all this is we're going to finish everything, obviously. We're just going to do all this stuff, and then we might do this, but we might also not. Once I went ahead and looked through it, I just kind of, I don't know, it's objective based, but it's hard to gauge a video on it, because I'm trying to do objectives and I'm trying to remember objectives while speaking at the same time. So what I might do is just do like a separate 3-part series where we do all of these objectives. I'll just do an edited video cutting to me doing all of the objectives, or we'll do them on a stream. And then when it comes to getting everything perfect, as you can see up here, it's obviously not perfect. None of it is gold. So we'll do that again in a separate video, or stream, or just really long video. Unfortunately, the rendering time is ridiculous on Vegas to get that finished off, and then we'll have everything golden, dirt 100% completed, and I can finally rest in peace. Anyway, see you tomorrow for some Smite spoiler, and yeah, that's all I got.